Let's talk basketball. Let's talk basketball. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know who it is. King JB here. It's time to talk about the NBA draft. I'm probably going to be the first person to do a draft video, so let's go ahead and get it in. Makes perfect sense for me to be the first one to do it. Let's just go ahead and start right off. Anthony Bennett was the #1 pick by the Cleveland Cavaliers. This shit, I think all of us were shocked. I know I was in the chat room when this all went down. There ain't a person alive that was in this room that wasn't shocked. Anthony Bennett as the #1 pick. This has to be the most shocking #1 pick I have ever seen, ever, in my entire history of watching the draft. I thought for sure they was going to go Porter or Noel or McLemore. No one thought Bennett. Anyway, I don't even know where he fits in there. Power forward, I know they like Tompkins. I don't really know where he fits in there, to be honest. #2, I think Orlando made a good selection with Victor Oladipo. Now, out of Indiana, what I don't understand, all right, is now they got to make a decision on Aflalo. I mean, granted, I think Victor Oladipo has way more of an upside than Aflalo. And I want to give a shout out to Tyler Ecolito. Sorry if I said your name wrong again, but he did call it, and he did say that Victor was that great. Now, Tyler, though, I'll be getting you your Notre Dame pissing on Michigan logo here shortly because you still lost the bet. Motherfucker, Trey Burke was not a top 5 pick. In fact, he wasn't even a top 8 pick. Your own city didn't pick him. Now, I think we all had Otto Porter going #3 to Washington. I think it's a perfect pick for him. If you look at it, man, Beal, Wall, and Porter, whew, it's going to be cold. Another shot came at #4 when Cody Zeller was taken by the Bobcats. Was anybody expecting that one? I don't think so. Cody Zeller, man, he's the white Kwame Brown for MJ, man. It's going to happen all over again. I cannot believe Lynn and Noel was passed up for Cody Zeller. I understand injuries is a big deal, man, but I just don't see it. I don't see Cody Zeller being that. Alex Lynn did go #5 to Phoenix. Definitely big man with some upside, but his injury problems. I can't believe they picked him with what's his name being there? What's the center's name there? Gortat. With Gortat being there, I can't believe they picked Lynn. New Orleans picked Noel. Probably the perfect fit, but apparently he's going to Philadelphia to bowl with Andrew Bynum. Both of them probably be bowling beginning of the season because he's going, as everybody knows, he's going to miss a portion of the NBA season his rookie year. I do want to bring up the trade. KG, Paul Pierce to Brooklyn. That's a huge deal, man. Brooklyn didn't really have to give up too much. Gerald Wallace and some draft picks, and I believe Humphreys is going too. Definitely huge. Jason Terry, who gets tattoos of every team, apparently. He'll be getting the Brooklyn tattoo, I assume, soon. Big shout out to Doc Rivers for calling Bill Simmons an idiot, by the way. Now, all y'all cats that hated on Ray Allen for him leaving Boston, what y'all got to say now? Everybody left. Doc Rivers willingly left. KG had a no-trade clause, so he willingly left. And I highly doubt Brooklyn would have made the deal if Paul Pierce wasn't willing to go. Ben McLemore, this was the shock of the draft for me, falling all the way down to Sacramento at #7. I don't know how he fits in there. Obviously, Tyreek Evans is gone, I think they're going to try to move. I don't know if they're going to keep Cousins or not, but I think McLemore is going to score 20 a game. Y'all heard it here first. He will win Rookie of the Year. Ben McLemore is the best player in this draft. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all think. Let me laugh at you Pistons fans for a while. Even though I personally think Caldwell Pope is better than Trey Burke, y'all didn't think that. And y'all shitty as hell. Pistons ain't going to do shit. And Trey Burke ain't going to do shit. Even in Utah. Even starting. He'll be back. He'll be relegated to the bench by the end of the season. Trey Burke was drafted #9 by Minnesota. He's now in Utah. Let's see here. Who else we got? Big ups to C.J. McCollum now to Lehigh getting to Portland. Let's see what else we got here. Shabazz Muhammad, I want to say that he dropped. I expected him to go around 10 or 11, but he dropped all the way to 14. But him going to Minnesota will be the steal of this draft, of the entire draft. Minnesota got off big to get Shabazz Muhammad and the big man. I forgot his name. They got a big man too for Trey Burke. Definitely big ups to them, man. They put it down. I do think his character issues won't matter. Who cares how old he is? Who gives a shit? I do think Shabazz Muhammad will be good. Lucas Nogueira, man, he's had the hair of the night. He's now in Atlanta, where I said he would be. I said he would be in Atlanta. Threw out some trades. I think he got traded twice tonight, but he's there. Let's see here. Now, the Bulls. Tony Snell out of New Mexico. I don't understand how we could pick him with so many people. Plumlee, Hardaway, even though I didn't want Plumlee. With Hardaway Jr. and Franklin on the board. I cannot believe that we went Tony Snell. I was upset. I even stopped my draft coverage after that. But after sitting down and looking at it, maybe he'll be good for us. He's got a hell of a jumper. And with our second round pick out of Florida, it's going to be we got some shooters, man. So I'm actually pretty happy with all this shit. Now, the rest of this, I'm just going to name some bigger names that we all like. Tim Hardaway Jr., you know, it's good to see him go to New York. I think he'll fit in well there. It'll be kind of interesting to see him there. Let's see here. Who else we got? Spurs, of course, drafting foreign. That's just what they do. Another French guy, and Livio Jean Charles, or however the fuck you say his name. I do want to say this. At the end, it was nostalgic to see David Stern end and Olajuwon out there. It was definitely nostalgic to see that. Big ups to David Stern. I know a lot of people have hated David Stern, but I do believe he's the best. Him and Bud Selig for Major League Baseball. Two best commissioners in sports history. I don't think football has ever had one. Paul Tagliabue wasn't. He was weak, puny. Now, Goodell in the end may be. I just think he's making the game softer. But I got to give big ups to David Stern. I know a lot of you guys hate David Stern for the dress codes and shit like that. But other than that, man, he's tried to make the NBA the biggest sport in the world. And his marketing has been genius. He's done a hell of a job. Looking at the second round, I want to say this. I apologize and I'm sorry for all of y'all Benton Harbor cats that Doug Henderson did get drafted. I was surprised to not see. Well, I wasn't surprised. I didn't even have him getting drafted, but I was rooting for him because of y'all. I wanted to see him get drafted. Sorry that he didn't. Good news is he may get a contract somewhere. Summer League's coming up, which I get to see in Orlando. Mac Money gets to see the one in Nevada and Vegas. I got to say, Houston at the 34 pick got a good point guard in Isaiah Cannon. Philadelphia with Glenn Rice Jr., they got a big pick. Glenn Rice Jr. will be the single upset of this draft. And not as in a bad way. What I'm saying is he will be the most looked over person in this draft. People, because of his off the court situation and just in general, people hate on Glenn Rice Jr., you know what I mean? But he's got some talent. Walters in Washington is a good pick. Walters was definitely a Player of the Year candidate. Big ups to him. I do think Detroit got a good pick in Tony Mitchell. Let's see, what else? Jamal Franklin, who I think the Bulls should have got, ended up in Memphis. I still do not understand passing him up. I think they must know something we don't know. For him to fall, I mean, he fell kind of low. You know what I'm saying? He fell kind of low, so I don't really know. Mike Muscala, who's now traded to the Hawks, he went at 44 to the Mavericks. He's now in Atlanta. He was another Player of the Year candidate. A lot of you cats don't know him because he went to Bucknell. That dude was putting up some serious fucking numbers. And he's a 7-footer that can play a key role. I don't know if he'll ever be Dirk Nowitzki type, but mark my words, you'll hear the name Muscala somewhere along the line. I am shocked that a couple players didn't get drafted. I mean, there's a couple of them out there that I was shocked to not see drafted. I was shocked not to see Seth Curry get drafted or Leslie get drafted. That was pretty interesting, and just to me, it was kind of nuts. Eric Murphy is the power forward from Florida that's going to the Bulls. He is being in Florida, I got to watch him live. I mean, watching, not live, but on, he's big here because he played for the Gators. And so I know a little bit about Eric Murphy. He's been on the news here quite a few times. I know who he is. And I will tell you now, it was a good pick for the Bulls. He's like Tyler Hansborough, but can shoot. And y'all know I'm a North Carolina fan, so if I say he's like Hansborough, it says a lot. He's just got a better jumper. His rebounds isn't as good as Hansborough's, but it's about what the Bulls are getting, someone that could hustle. Pacers ended up getting a steal in Colton Iverson, man. Somebody in this very chat room is the one that put me up on Colton Iverson. He's got some talent, man. He's definitely got some talent. Spurs got Deshaun Thomas, man. He's a solid player too, man. But it was a good draft. Exciting, but weird, man. It was a weird-ass draft. And I don't think we've made a big enough deal about the number 1 pick. Who the hell would have picked Bennett to be number 1? And I still am shocked. I don't know, man. Big trades. Trey Burke going to Utah. It was fun. It was fun dealing with y'all in here tonight, man. Anyway, that's my draft analysis. I think the winners of the draft may have been Minnesota. I don't know. I think the losers of tonight was Boston. Period. Boston's a loser. And Detroit. I'm out of here, bitches.